good, guys? M.V.K here, back again. I knew it. I knew it was coming. When you've been reading these stories as long as I do, you see it, guys. You see it. Anyway, let's talk about this. We are here to talk about episode 9, the penultimate episode of X-Men 97, part 2, Axis Tolerance. They actually did it. They actually did it. And we're going to talk about that. Now, the X-Men reunite with Professor Xavier, and Charles's first student has a lot to say to him about, why didn't you leave everything to me? Why did you leave it to Eric? Professor Xavier's reasoning for why he left to Magneto is somewhat, I get it, but then I don't get it. I'm 50-50 on it. Let's put it like that. Because if he should have known in some cases that Leopard can't change his spots, Tiger can't change his stripes, some people can change, but Magneto, he ain't changing. His wounds run too fucking deep to change truly. That's pretty much, that's what it comes down to. What it was great about this was the team devised a plan to defeat their foes. They got to deal with Magneto, who has rebuilt Asteroid M. They got to get him also to put the Earth back on track. He shut down the Earth. This is reminding me of when he actually took the Earth off its axis and caused all that destruction. That's a story for another time. And then they got to deal with Bastion, who is still in control of his Prime Sentinels and things like that. So they're broken up into two teams. What's even cooler is a lot of them go back to their classic uniforms, their classic looks, which was really cool. We saw Wolverine in his brown and tannish costume, old school. I know everybody likes the iconic yellow, blue, black. It's great. And I was just talking to my buddy last night, Mr. Multi, and we were talking about, he's like, there's something about the brown and tan costume Wolverine. It makes him look like, Wolverine better. Rogue went to her classic green costume, which is interesting. Morph was in his exile costume. If you read the Exiles, that's the costume Morph has. Jubilee was in her later look that she has later in the comics, which was cool. And even Sunspot was in like a classic X-Men uniform finally. Jean and Cyclops were in their classic. So, and with Storm in her 70s look, it reminded me of Pride of the X-Men, the original animated X-Men cartoon, and of course the Konami beat-em-up fighting game that tied into that show. The only character that was missing there was Colossus. And I'm going to talk about that too, because that also plays a big factor. Now, they've devised their plan, they go straight in, and they deliver what they need to do. Now, before that, guys, you can see that Xavier is feeling the sting from a lot of his students, including Rogue. Rogue lets it doesn't hold back on him. And when I saw this, I said to myself, this is reminding me of another X-Men that had some issues with Xavier for a while. And I'm gonna get into that. Magneto comes down. As we all know, he comes down and he's asking the X-Men join. He's waged war on humanity. What did I just say? Leopard can't change his spots. Tiger can't change his stripes, right? Yeah. Professor Xavier is pleading, look, we can save these people. And Magneto ain't hearing it, as always. Now, my issue with Magneto is always, yeah, you want to cause destruction of the planet on innocent people. There are innocent people involved. And this is where people, I hate when people start saying, oh, Magneto was right. Fuck that. Because at the same time, yeah, he's right to a degree, but there are innocent people involved that had nothing to do with the bigotry of mutants. You got a lot of them there that you got kids there that have nothing to do with that, and you are willing to kill them for that. Fuck you for that. That's where I can never truly agree with what Magneto does. He's willing to cause genocide for what? To prove he's right? No. And then you got people out here saying, oh, well, no. Again, the mark of a hero is not to kill. However, in that process, 2 X-Men leave. X-Men in training, Sunspot leaves, which that shocked me a little bit, but then them explaining it, him basically saying that, yeah, my mother basically left me to get arrested. He already lost faith in his mom and went with him. Rogue was the obvious choice. I saw that coming a mile away. I saw that, and here's where this gets interesting, because Rogue replaced another X-Men in this. I see where the storytelling is going, because Rogue replaced Colossus. In the original story of Fatal Attraction, it is Colossus that joins the Acolytes, joins Magneto's Acolytes after Illyana died because of the legacy virus. Peter was pissed off, and he lost faith in Professor Xavier, and he joined up with Magneto. They just took out Colossus, replaced him with Rogue, and we saw the outpour of that too. The X-Men come, they go after Bastion, they go to Magneto because they need him to restart, bring everything back. What was really cool is to see the line of the century. I love that suck it line. When we saw it in the preview before, but it was just so good to hear it again. Hear them knock Bryan Singer's. Oh, you want to disrespect the costumes? Okay, fuck you and your leather costumes. I love that. I don't care what anybody says. When Scott gave Cable an X costume, a uniform or so, and said, what did you expect? Black leather? No matter how, I've rewinded that like 5 times, because to me that was a suck it to Bryan Singer's X-Men with the black costume. And when they said it, I love that. We saw Jean fighting Sinister, which was fun. That was fun to see. Love seeing Jean in her Marvel Girl look. I always loved that. I've never had an issue with any of Jean's looks. None. But I see always on the internet, everybody dogs Jean's costume. This is ugly, this is ugly, this is ugly. Jean, her classic Marvel Girl costume is great. It's great. And to see her fighting Sinister was fun. It was fun. And then we see Sinister using Cable. That was scary, but also impressive too. Because in a sense, we kind of got to see Cable use his telekinetic abilities, his telepathic abilities. He actually was using it against, I guess you could say, his parental stepmother, if anything. Now, on top of that, in top of the X-Men fight with Magneto, yeah, you're actually seeing Rogue fighting her family, her friends, fighting Wolverine, keeping him away from Magneto. Sunspot fighting Jubilee, and even to the point he hits her and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Jubes, I didn't." And I'm looking at Roberto. I'm like, bro, really? You gonna say sorry to her? You gonna say sorry, but attack her? You gonna attack her and then say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it." You meant it, fool. And I love when Jubilee's like, "Bitch, okay, eat this." Like, I love that. And then seeing them get the helmet off of Magneto and Professor Xavier is basically shutting him down. Even says, "I'm sorry, Magnus." There was one scene I will say where Magneto said, "There was two words I always wanted to say to you, Charles. Shut up." I was like, okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that, Magneto. I'll give you that. But Professor Xavier wouldn't be who he is if he didn't try. You know, it's always a funny situation with him and Magneto. Everybody says that. Most of my family who don't read the books or anything, always try to figure out, like, how are they friends if one's trying to kill each other and things like that? So, but in that, speaking, Wolverine was able to get Magneto's helmet off. And in doing so, and right there, that's when Jean's psychic probes Scott, and Scott shoots Professor's chair or so, because he says, "I'm sorry, sir, the other team needs more time." And that's when Magneto goes after and puts the helmet on Charles, which was funny. And that's where we see, for the first time that I can recall, animated Wolverine doing something that has never been done. He stabs Magneto with his claws. Claws meet flesh. In every X-Men cartoon, they have never, that I can remember, you could correct me on this, there has never been a point where Wolverine has penetrated flesh with his claws. It's always some kind of robot or something like that. Flesh meets claws, and you see it. Because once I saw that panel, once the shot is zoomed in, I'm like, it's gonna happen. He's gonna. And Wolverine says, "I've been in a lot of wars." And that's when I was like, I'm on the edge of my seat. This is 4 a.m. in the morning when I'm watching the shows, and I'm like, is it coming? 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 And it happened. It happened. Magneto pulls the adamantium out of Logan. And it ends there. It ends there. Was the shot beautifully? Yes. I feel Wolverine's pain because there are a lot to that story. But yes, it happened. Mr. DeMeo was right. He told people, y'all better read Fatal Attraction. He was right. It happened. I watched this at 4 a.m. in the morning. I was like, fuck that. I'm not waiting I was like, it should be up by 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning. I was too wired not to sleep. I said, I'll get sleep. I'll go to sleep in an hour or two. I watched this episode 4 a.m. in the morning. And I didn't get up until 1 o'clock in the morning. 1 o'clock in the afternoon now. I'm recording this at about 2 o'clock, 2:30 right now. I'm looking at my watch right now. It's the funniest thing, but that's what it's like, man. When you got goodness like this, it doesn't matter. This, now, what does this mean? They are telling two stories in this. And I'm telling you right now, Y'all better be waiting next the finale. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. This shit right here is gonna happen. That is right, people. If you saw that image, that is right from the pages of X-Men 25 Fatal Attraction, when Professor Xavier said, "Enough is enough, and it's time to shut your ass down." And he puts Magneto in a coma. He shuts him down. He literally is gonna shut Magneto down. If it don't happen, because I see where they're going with the next season. I can tell where they're going. And also, I forget to say something too. Morph has been a highlight of this season as well, because of who he's been morphing into. And who did this motherfucker morph into in this episode? He morphed into the motherfucking Hulk. More tidbits, in my opinion, that the next story for season 2 they're building. So here's what I'm gonna leave y'all right now. I'm gonna leave it right here, because I'll do more in the overview of the entire season and what I feel was coming. I'm gonna let you guys know right now. The first one, I'll let you know. After this season over, I want you guys, if you haven't read it, go read the direct sequel to Fatal Attraction, which is called X-Men Avengers Blood Ties. Go read that. Read this. And also, you want to know where they're going with season 2? This guy. Yup. And I guarantee you this, it's going to take more than the children of the Atom to defeat him. Guys, this was a great episode. I enjoyed it. Remember my words. I'm telling you, remember it, because it's going to happen. And if it don't, I know my shit. I know my shit. And I know there are other fellow geeks out there that are right on the cuff with me. Take my hand and you will see me. I will guide you through. But I'm telling you right now, it's coming. You guys take care. Hope you guys enjoyed the penultimate episode of X-Men 97. And I'm going to see you guys next time, my pack.